So I just wanted to come on here and say publicly, I'm officially announcing my departure from the Republican Party.
How did you feel when you saw that Trump is firing over 80,000 VA workers?
Well, I was mad. I was medically discharged after getting injured while deployed. So these are people that have taken care of me and my fellow vets for a long time.
It's just horrid. I was dumbfounded and just disgusted. And coming from that coward, never served, draft dodging coward, it's infuriating.
It's just despicable. I can't think of a more evil thing that he's doing.
When the government took us in to go fight their wars, you know, they made a promise to take care of veterans when we got back. Donald Trump is a coward. He dodged a draft. He did not freaking serve. He was too chicken shit to serve, and he hates veterans. And this is the proof. This is the proof right now.
You know how hard it is to get our benefits? They doing it on purpose. They want to privatize that shit so they can profit off of our suffering.
We have some big news right now. Donald Trump wants to rename Veterans Day. He now said that he wants to rename Veterans Day to, quote, Victory Day for World War I. He also wants to change May 8th, which is currently known as Victory in Europe Day, to Victory in World War II Day. But May 8th isn't currently a federal holiday, so to do that, he would actually have to have congressional approval to make May 8th a federal holiday. Now, it's unclear why he wants to change Veterans Day, given the fact that Veterans Day is meant to celebrate all veterans, not just those who served during World War I. But this is a change that he is making. Donald Trump has long wanted to make a lot of changes to names. He's renamed army bases. He tried to rename the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. He renamed Denali back to Mount McKinley. So this is just another one of his excursions to rename things. And now he wants to rename Veterans Day. I'll let you know if it actually happens.
I know you told me you voted for President Trump. What were you hoping that he would do?
I was hoping he would did something that made sense regarding the economy, made some kind of progress in bettering, you know, the benefits of being a veteran. But I mean, it just seemed like he actually cared about doing what was best for the country. But now it just feels like all about me, Donald Trump, not, you know, the guy out there working in the trenches trying to make ends meet, trying to pay a mortgage, trying to pay the bills. You know, it goes against everything I expected when, you know, I voted for him.
So you're not satisfied with what you said?
No. And it doesn't even have to do with anything about me getting fired. I mean, if I had gotten fired as part of the, you know, government, cutting government spending, I would have been fine with that. I can accept that. But he's not delivering on anything he said he was going to do. So what's your real game plan? You know, it doesn't make sense to me.
There are some things that he promised to do that he has put in place. I mean, there are executive orders that he's done, that he said that he was going to do. You don't feel like he's lived up to those promises?
I mean, where are the results? I mean, seriously, prices are still going up. We're now in the middle of a tariff war with a bunch of countries that used to be our steadfast allies. I mean, how do you make an enemy of Canada? You know, they're right next to us, and they've been one of our premier allies and commerce partners for, I mean, seriously, like what, centuries now?
And he did say that he was going to put tariffs in place. Did you just not think that they would be implemented in this particular way?
I didn't think they were going to be put in play in a juvenile way. I mean, where was the attempt to actually talk to the heads of these other countries like, hey, you know, I feel you have unfair tariffs against our products. I'd like to talk about it first. And if we can't work out some kind of resolution, then I feel to protect our people, we need to implement this kind of tariff. There was no attempt at even talking to the other countries.
Nearly 6,000 veterans have already lost their jobs and been terminated from federal service at an unprecedented rate, and will all enter the civilian workforce with less protections. While my time is limited, I just wanted to say this. This isn't subjective. This is evidence. This is evidence in less than 2 months. This administration has proved itself to be the most anti-veteran administration ever. What's going on is just not right on so many levels.
Yeah, you called it the most anti-veterans administration in history.
It is. I mean, there's almost 6,000 veterans that are terminated. It was just reported today that 80,000 VA employees are going to be terminated. They have the most amount of veterans. It shows you that the billionaires are the ones who matter, and they're going to step on anybody to get them what they want. So it's unfortunate, but a lot of people are going to suffer.
I mean, Nicole, you will remember when Donald Trump became the first president to do something like besmirched the legacy of a war hero, John McCain. Mm-hmm. And I think people thought, oh, maybe that kind of disgusting treatment of someone who has served our country in the most tangible, visceral, self-sacrificing way, maybe that's an anomaly. Maybe he will move past that. This is evidence, the treatment of veterans, right? Which was once the third rail in American politics. You would never see a Republican Party targeting veterans, targeting the VA, having veterans come to town halls and say, this is the most anti-veteran administration in American history. The statements Trump made about John McCain, the statements he's made about people who serve, who were wounded in combat, he, as someone who got out of serving this country because of bone spurs, that was not an anomaly, that was an indicator. And you are now seeing the harvest of those seeds. The treatment of veterans is not going unnoticed by veterans themselves. There were a lot of them that spoke up last night, and they feel the same way.
A slap on the face. This Orlando Marine vet was among the thousands to lose jobs in the federal employee purge. This is Doug Jackson.
Well, it finally happened, and it's happening fast. I'm getting a lot of messages from people who say, I'm a Republican, I'm a Trump supporter, but I want labor rights. And they're asking me for help with the problem they're having now that Trump is really attacking the federal workforce, and they're scared. The hypocrisy. How dare you come to me for help when you have spent the past 12 years of Trump's career violently and viciously attacking anyone who doesn't look like you, violently and viciously attacking labor rights when every expert in the world warned you. And you mocked us. You still mock us when we tell you that what's happening is dangerous. But now that it's finally affected you, as we warned you it would, now you think you deserve special treatment? It's kind of like that guy who posted about not paying taxes and how proud he was not to pay taxes. And then the fires happened, and he was desperately calling for private firefighters to save his house, but no one else's. I'm angry at you. I'll probably still help you because I believe in this, but I'm angry at you.
Folks, here's another national disgrace. Donald Trump's VA just ripped the safety net out from under tens of thousands of veterans, our heroes, by killing a life-saving mortgage rescue program that kept them in their homes. While 90,000 vets, they fall behind in their loans, 33,000 already on the brink of foreclosure. And Trump's Republicans, they call it moronic. They call it a bum loan. Well, let me tell you what's moronic. Sending young Americans to war and letting them come home broken, scared, and struggling, and then slamming the door on them when they ask for a little help staying in their homes they fought for. The VASP program, it wasn't reckless, it was a lifeline. Veterans like Kevin Conlon, who served 2 combat tours in Iraq, are being punished for needing PTSD treatment. And now, after following the VA's own instructions, they're being thrown to the wolves. I'm Doug Hune. I'm a military husband, and I'll be damned if I sit by while Trump and the GOP betray our veterans. In Congress, I'll fight to restore this program and hold anyone accountable who dares treat our heroes like expendable numbers. Stand with me. Let's fight like hell.
This is a long shot, but here it goes. This message is for Donald J. Trump. My father is a veteran. My grandmother was a veteran. My grandfather was a veteran. And for someone who has never served in the military due to your bone spurs, you have a lot to say about what Veterans Day should be about and what it should be called. Veterans have already lost so much acknowledgement for the sacrifices that they have made, and you are going to take away Veterans Day and name it Victory Day and celebrate our battles won. I don't expect you to be able to empathize with veterans. I don't expect you to be able to understand veterans because you aren't one. You know, you're a draft dodger. So how could you understand how these people are feeling? My one piece of advice to you is to disappear off the face of this planet.
I'm a veteran of the United States Army. My MOS was a 93 Papa, that's Aviation Operations Specialist. My last duty station was Fort Polk, Louisiana, where I was attached to a medical evacuation unit, dust off to be exact. That acronym stands for Dedicated Unhesitated Service to Our Fighting Forces. My job was to manage and coordinate the rescue effort of civilians and military personnel who were either injured or fatally wounded. Next month, the Army will be 250 years old, and your president, the same, I'm going to try to watch my language, the same person who shirked his military responsibility because his bone spurs bothered him, the same fat who could not find a kind word to say about John McCain, the same one who is actively eliminating veteran programs, much needed medical care and support staff from VA, is going to be holding military personnel, soldiers, hostage, in my opinion, so that they can walk through the city to celebrate his birthday. All of y'all that voted for this bullshit, who claim to be patriots and that it's about America first, especially after he just said again, he's not sure if he can continue to follow the Constitution. In an interview, y'all some bags of shit. It's disgusting. There are veterans out here walking a razor thin edge. Do y'all understand that? Walking a razor thin edge every day. And that support is the decision maker between whether they unalive themselves or because they've gone to war to fight for this piece of lard, get out here in society and take a mass action against other innocent people. Disgusting.
Not only does Trump want to change the name of Veterans Day, Exhibit A, Trump to rename Veterans Day as Victory Day for World War I, but his administration also wants to change the meaning of DEI. Exhibit B from the official White House Insta page. It reads, "The only DEI we support, deport every illegal." And as to be expected, we have people like this guy, Ethan, who says, "I love this page. This is what I voted for." And I 100% believe people like Ethan. That is what they were voting for. There are so many Republicans or MAGA folk that are trying to backpedal now because they see what Trump is doing and they're trying to say, well, I didn't know he was going to do that. I'm more of a fiscal conservative. I voted for Trump because the price of eggs and the price of this and the price of that. No, you can't backpedal anymore. You voted for Trump when everybody was telling you what he was going to do. There is no backpedaling now. History is being written. There was Project 2025, and he is coming through on all of those promises.
What's up, everybody? Listen, is it Victory Day or is it Veterans Day? What do you guys like? Trump wants to name Veterans Day to Victory Day. What do you guys all think about this? Okay? Is it going to piss the veterans off by calling it Victory Day instead of Veterans Day? Listen, my mom's birthday was on November 11th. She was always proud to have her birthday on Veterans Day. So I'll always remember it as Veterans Day. I don't know why Trump wants to change it, but what do you all think? I think, to me, honestly, it doesn't matter. But it was my mom's birthday, and she loved it that it was Veterans Day on her birthday. I remember her always saying that, November 11th. So why change it, I guess? I guess my vote would be don't change it. What do you guys all vote? Right here, Veterans Day or Victory Day?
Veterans Day may no longer be referred to as Veterans Day. Trump announced on a social media post that he's renaming Veterans Day, which is celebrated on November 11th, to Victory Day for World War I. He also shared that May 8th will be referred to as Victory Day over World War II. Trump went on to say, and I'll quote, "We won both wars. Nobody was close to us in terms of strength, bravery, or military brilliance, but we never celebrate anything. That's because we don't have leaders anymore that know how to do so. We are going to start celebrating our victories again." Now, establishing a federal holiday or a national or patriotic observance requires the passage of law. And who makes laws? Well, most of us know Congress makes laws. So we'll see what happens with this.
Just when you think that they can't possibly get any more dumb, they do it. They get more stupid. When somebody sent me a screenshot of what looked like a Trump tweet saying that he was canceling Veterans Day, I thought it had to be fake because I thought this man could not possibly be that dumb. Now, the record is clear. Donald Trump hates veterans, especially Vietnam vets, especially vets who went to Iraq and Afghanistan, because he considers us as not having won that war, and therefore our service and sacrifice aren't worth shit to him. But for him to put in writing that he is erasing Veterans Day, a federal holiday since the 1960s, something that has been celebrated by Americans since the 1950s, I didn't think it was real. I didn't think that Donald Trump could be that dumb. But I guess I need to lower my expectations because it's real. Donald Trump is saying that we don't celebrate our victories enough. So he is erasing Veterans Day. No appreciation for any veterans post-World War II. And you know what? I think I know why he is canceling Veterans Day. And it's because a bunch of veterans are planning to protest right by the Washington Monument, the National Mall, on June 6th. I don't know, but maybe Donald Trump heard about this and he wanted to say, oh, well, if you're going to go out and protest for VA benefits and not let Elon Musk just cancel all of the promises that the United States made to you, well, I'm going to take over Veterans Day and I'm going to end it. When Donald Trump was 18, he was getting fake doctor's notes to get out of the draft for Vietnam. When I was 18, I was enlisting in the Army because as a New Yorker and as a patriotic American, I felt it was my duty to serve after I watched the towers fall when I was 16 years old. Donald Trump has always thought that I was a sucker, that I was a loser for feeling that compulsion to serve my country in a time of war. But to outright cancel Veterans Day, that's going lower than I thought he was capable of. And that's pretty low. So look, if you want to stand up for veterans, now's your chance. Go to uniteforvets.org and start making plans now to join us in Washington, D.C. on June 6th, on the anniversary of D-Day. There's going to be veterans from every generation standing together and demanding that our nation keeps its promise to our veterans. If you can't join us, please visit uniteforvets.org and share information about this with your friends and family and people who might be able to join us. If you want to support the veterans who are organizing this and help transport veterans from around the country to Washington, D.C., you can also donate at that page. Donald Trump is trying to rewrite the past, but we're talking about the future. We're going to make a better future for veterans, and no draft dodger is going to stand in our way.
Well, we can all agree to disagree, but in this case scenario, it does seem like Donald Trump actually hates veterans, bro, because everything veterans try to do is like he's against it. And what's the need to, disturb these veterans, man? Imagine someone representing a country coming out from war with all that trauma and all that experience he's had in war. He should come back home where he's safe, where he can take time to heal, and veterans should have facilities where they can go and get attended to. We all know that these people really need help after service, and no one's gonna deny that because of the things they have seen in the battleground or in the war. Or less, if you're removing all these things from veterans, these benefits, then don't take veterans to wars that are needless to them, like on a personal level, an American level. Just don't take them to this such type of war that will leave them traumatized, scarred for the rest of their lives, only for you to remove all these benefits that would actually let them live well after their service. It's like someone doing something for you and you're less appreciative. In fact, you going extra steps or extra miles to howl insults on them. It just doesn't make sense, and I really do think veterans do deserve better. They do deserve better. Anyways, guys, I don't know, what do you think? Let me know in the comment section down there below. Share your thoughts. Let's meet in the next one. Peace out.